Bill Belichick? One day, maybe. One day. What's up, Brody? We back. We back.
Off season.
All men are created equal. Some just work harder during the off season.
Let's work.
What is going on? You are now tuned in to another episode of This Is Me. I'm one of the hosts, Coach Carey, aka MC4.
And it's your boy, Big 38 Gold Hawk. You already know the vibes, baby.
You already know what it is. We are here. We are excited to bring you some more content.
Hold
this
on.
episode.
Before we start,
Okay.
see this? It's that vintage, baby.
Vintage Nike.
You see what's on the table?
What are these, man? I ain't a sneakerhead.
That De La Souls.
So these are tough. These are SB, so these are skating shoes.
Yeah, of course.
See, like I wear Vans, so
Bad,
I wear
bad
skating
feet.
shoes.
That's bad feet.
These?
Bad feet.
Bad feet.
Take them off, show the people real quick.
All right, I'll show the people my Vans. What we
Nasty
got here?
man.
My dirty white Vans.
Bad.
I'm not a sneakerhead, but
bad feet.
everybody keeps telling me that I gotta get my game up now that I'm doing some podcasting.
Bad
What do we think? We think I need to step my shoe game up a little?
I think you need to step your shoe game up.
All right. Well, I'm looking for 11s and 1s only. I want Jordan 11s, 1s, size 10.
11s?
Yeah, 11s, favorite shoe.
Ugh.
I only have one pair. I want to get every pair.
There you go.
Low
Start
tops, high
small.
top. Yeah.
Gradually get bigger.
I got the Jubilee 11s.
Okay.
You know, I'm a size 10. Anybody out there that knows somebody that can hook me up with a nice deal, I mean,
Yeah.
we want to step the shoe game up. I need help. I can't do this myself.
I mean, you can do it yourself. You just gotta.
But I got no fashion sense. You know, my brother, my girlfriend, they are the ones that are on top of me with dressing properly. I'd wear sweatpants and hoodies every day.
Hey, it is what it is.
But let's get back into the episode, man. I got a question for you.
What's good, Doc?
So what is your definition of knowledge? It's a good one.
I would say my definition of knowledge is something that I learned over the last few years, you know, from one of my coaches. Actually, he said there's two types of knowledge. Mm-hmm. There's wisdom and there's experience.
Okay.
What I mean by that is wisdom is something that you learn from someone that went through the same experience that you're about to go through.
Okay.
So it's somewhere someone can give you the knowledge that you don't have to make the same mistakes to order to go through the same experience. Like my dad, he's taught me a lot with, you know, I'll start with like being a Q. He showed me how a man's supposed to act, or like treating a woman. He showed me how to do this, showed me how to do that, showed me the mistakes he's made, showed me how good it can be if you treat your woman right. So I don't have to, have the troubles of treating a woman bad or doing anything that, will harm a woman or harm, anybody in my life, because my dad has showed me that. Mm-hmm. Now, the other one is the experience. That's where you want to try it on your own. It's basically like if you touch a hot stove, your parents told you it's hot, you're like, I got to experience it for myself. Boom, you touch the hot stove, now you know it's hot, you're never going to do it again. Gotcha. So I think those are my two things of what knowledge means to me. I think it's, something that everybody chooses their route differently. Some are more severe than others where you have to listen to the wisdom, but there's some where you're just like, all right, people told me about this, but I want to try it this way to learn the experience. If it doesn't work, I always have the wisdom to always fall back on.
Okay.
So that's kind of where I base what knowledge is.
Now, do you feel that you benefit more from knowledge from experience or knowledge from wisdom from hearing it from somebody else?
I think I benefit, like as I grew up, I think it's more the wisdom. Because I'm always asking someone older, what should I do here? Yeah. What can I do? What are the options? Did you ever go through the same? And most of the time, life, you're not it's with anything, you're not reinventing the wheel. People in front of you have done the things. Like my parents always said, I've been where you are. Yeah. I know what you're doing. Like they've been in high school, they've been in college, they've been 24. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not trying to recreate anything. So I think the wisdom aspect of knowledge has brought me to who I am today because I've learned from people who are in the same boat. And like this with training. I talk to Ryan because Ryan's been doing it longer than me. I talk to Gear because Gear has been doing it longer than me. They know what it takes to do what I'm trying to do.
Okay.
So, diving into those people who are older than me because that's also something that you have to humble yourself to do. Because not everybody wants to do it because they don't want to ask somebody for help.
Mm-hmm.
They think it's like a testament to like being helpless.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I ask someone, I come out of it more knowledgeable about the situation.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not always worried about looking bad or looking like I don't know something because I might know it, but I just want to make sure that I'm doing it the right way.
You got to double check.
Yeah. Because there's nothing wrong with double checking. Some people get caught up in this social media world where you got to learn on your own, do this by yourself. But most of the people who are at where we want to be in life had people, mentors, had people in front of them that showed them along the way.
They were giving them that wisdom.
Right. I was watching, I'm a big Instagram watcher.
Okay, yeah.
I scroll on Instagram.
That's like the only app that you actually scroll.
That's all and I'm using it like TikTok.
Yeah, I know. I've been telling you to get TikTok, man.
I can't. I'm not downloading
He uses
TikTok.
Instagram Reels as his scrolling through TikTok. It makes no sense.
It makes sense to me.
That's all it got to. It's all it has to
me.
do. It's got to make sense to you and you only.
But I was watching TikTok. See, look at me. I was watching Instagram the other day, and I was watching a clip of Steve Harvey. And, he was saying all these things about how he, came up and, the Apollo. He did all this stuff, and, he ain't really have, he had people before him, but not a lot of people showed him the way. He had to learn it on his own. So what does he do now? He helps a lot of people get to where he's at. Kevin Hart, watching his documentary when he had all his friends, he's bringing along comedians to be where he's at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So they don't have to learn the same way he had to learn by himself of the grind every day. He's still going to make you grind out the hard work, but he's not going to let you make the same bad mistakes that put him back.
Yeah.
To you. Like he's going to help you along the way. So I feel like that's something that I've learned to do is to ask before doing all the time. It's not always about who could do it first. It's about who's doing it the right way and the proper way. So I feel like that's something that's instilled in me. And I love when young people that are trying to get to the league, who are trying to, like doing the combine training. A lot of people ask me about my route of how I got to the league, all this and that. I love talking to them about that because, again, that comes from the wisdom aspect of knowledge, of me learning of the stuff. Because I didn't really, in Sayreville, New Jersey, there's not many people who've been where I am.
Yeah, there hasn't. I don't know if there's been really anyone.
So being the first is not always the best thing to be. Mm-hmm. It's a great testament to who I am and who my parents are, who raised me, who brought me up, but it's not always fun.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because no one was there to show me how to be a professional, how, my parents are professional in their own fields, but football is a different animal.
Different animal.
You know what I'm saying? So, at first I wasn't reaching out to the right people about how to go about this, how to go about a rookie year. But then, as I got to the Panthers and, you start hanging out with Shaq, Brian Burns, people who have played 2 years, 3 years, 7 years. One of the person I, look up to is in the same room to me, Justin Burris. I literally was on his hip this whole year. Because even though he wasn't a high drafted guy, he wasn't a dude that's, running around, on Instagram, diving into
he's
different things. Low key, but he's a dude who comes to work every day ready, prepared. He has a business outside that he runs with his wife, his fiance. You know what I'm saying? So just looking up to someone that's doing exactly how I want to do it, that's why I attached to his hips so good. And everybody used to make fun of me. That's big bro, and I was little bro. They would mistake us for each other sometimes. Like I'm like, y'all bugging. But I think, tagging onto someone like that was like, it did nothing but help me out when I got injured, stuff like that. He's teaching me lessons of what he learned in his second year because he was here in the Jets. Being in New York and being in Charlotte are two different animals.
Two different markets.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's my way of learning is from the wisdom. And that's what's best helped me out in these last few years.
And that's good that you had somebody in your position room that was able to kind of help you out on field and off the field. Because it's one thing if, you had someone, a teammate that you looked up to, that how they went about business in the facility, like football related only. Right. But you have somebody outside of like your room that is able to kind of help you grow in all the things that you're trying to do outside of the game.
Right.
And I think that's huge because like you said, we didn't grow up with people that went to the league and, are able to have businesses at this age.
Right.
But you're able to now run it through people and kind of have these conversations with teammates that, you're considered these guys brothers at this point. You go through camp and all this, the whole NFL grind of the season.
It's a grind.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
It's crazy.
It's long. It's a long
Once July comes around, everybody starts getting that little depressed look. It's like that off season went by too fast. Like right now, I'm thinking about like, dang, that schedule about to come out. The off season workouts about to come along.
They're about to start soon.
It's gonna be crazy. But what about you? What's your definition of knowledge?
For me, knowledge, I think the definition is just a simple one word. It's growth. Through knowledge, you're continually growing. Whether you're reading books or you're watching podcasts or reading articles on things that you're interested in, it's all about growing. If you're not learning, if you're not gaining knowledge, you're not growing. So I think the most important part of, knowledge is that growth. Like you said, wisdom and experience have a lot to do with it. I think for me personally, a lot of things, people have tried to give me wisdom, but I'm so hard-headed that I don't even give that the time of the day. Like my dad tells me how he came up and all this stuff, and I say, okay. And then I go out and I do the same stuff that he was telling me not to do. And it's like you said with the, you're putting your finger on the hot stove. I was that kid that was told what not to do. Like, here, do it this way. And I was like, nah, everybody else did it that way, so why can't I?
Right.
When, and I had there's a lot of learning experiences. I'm still to this day learning, right? But that all is carried back to knowledge. I'm trying to gain as much knowledge as possible.
So what would you say was a point where you were like, I see the growth. I see myself growing as a person. Was there any point in your life where you were like, wow, the person I was yesterday is not the person I am today?
I think, honestly, within the last year, I think I've seen the most growth. Because I graduated high school, the path was going to be 4 years of college, play football, get into coaching, and there's my life. But That's not how it worked out. And there's nothing wrong with that, but I had to learn a lot the hard way in my, what was it? I guess 9 years. Mm-hmm. I had a lot of ups and downs. Some dealt with some mental things. Dealt with some drinking things. I went through a bunch, and in this past year, I've started to surround myself with people that truly see like where I can be, not where I'm at, and I think that brings the best out of me. And I feel responsible that I can't let those people down that are looking out for me and trying to get me to where I want to be. The guys at the gym, Dion, Zay, Danny, everybody, they want to see me grow, and they're giving me opportunities. So it's like I feel obligated to really show. So like this past year has really been a huge growing aspect for me. Even in the last 6 months, it's just there's a lot going on. Yeah. Coaching, podcasts. I'm still chugging along in school. So there's a lot going on, and I'm still growing. I'm still trying to gain as much knowledge as possible. But
once you stop growing as a person, I feel like that's when life is over.
Mm-hmm, you're going to stay stagnant.
You should never want to be the same person you were yesterday.
Yeah.
I feel like the best part of life is the growth mentally, physically, and emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's also something I had to work on, was the emotional side of growth. Of, the knowledge of learning the emotional side. Being able to talk about problems, being able, you built, your whole life as a football player, as any athlete, really. Oh, you're supposed to be macho when you get hit.
Yep.
And it hurts. You get right up, bounce right up. Don't worry about it. Don't go to the.
Hold it all in. Don't tell nobody. Nobody cares.
I used to be the biggest crybaby.
Yeah.
The biggest crybaby in Pop Warner.
I remember hearing stories about Myles Hartsfield.
Anytime I got hit hard, it didn't even have to be hard. I would cry.
Just off simple, just getting hit.
Didn't matter. I would score a touchdown. I have asthma, so I would score a touchdown, feign the end zone, cry.
Wow.
Because I was just hurt. I didn't know how to cope with the breathing of a hard breathing.
You didn't know how to handle the emotion of being hit or running out of breath.
Right. So then, as I grew up, people always used to call me a crybaby. So when I got to high school, I took a hit from Nadir Barnwell, P-Way. That was the first big hit my sophomore year.
Oh, yeah, that was on our sideline.
Yeah, on our sideline.
I remember that.
And all I could hear in my head was the crybaby. So I wanted to show people I wasn't a crybaby. So I got up, I was hurt, and I paced back and forth, and I went right back in the game. Oh, dang.
Take it easy over there, dude.
Easy. Whoa.
But I remember that, though, because when you got hurt, I had to go in. And I'm like, I'm just going into block at this point for somebody, which I was cool with. But then it was like, I'm thinking like, oh, yo, he's probably pretty hurt. It was like 3 plays later, I came back out because we were ready to go.
Because I wanted to prove to people that I'm not the crybaby. You know, I was a sophomore. You know, I came into this bigger role as on varsity, all this and that. So I wanted to show people I wasn't the same kid from Pop Warner 2 years ago.
You wanted to show the growth.
Yeah.
Because that's a short period of time.
But I think it also hurt me because I held it in so much of not wanting to show people that it's okay to cry.
Yeah.
Even if it hurts. You know what I'm saying? You move on. But as an athlete, you're always taught to hold things in. You know, went through some stuff in college where I was like, I wish I could talk to someone. And I just didn't have the strength to talk to someone because I was just, you know, all my life it was, oh, he's scared, he's, you know, he's a crybaby, this and that. So when times came, I didn't want to talk about things.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, it's whatever. I'll take this on the chin, boom, 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 move on. And it, you know, stayed with me. But then now it's like, why didn't I talk about those things to people that really cared? You know what I'm saying?
Like that could be a coach. Now, do you feel like, now you kind of went into college in the time where mental health was becoming like a thing.
Right.
Now, Ole Miss, did they have people you could talk to aside, like, is this outside of coaching, like outside of coaches, like, was there someone, and if there wasn't then, do you think like now is something that these schools have?
I think they definitely have it now. But the thing that we didn't have at Ole Miss was that.
Okay.
I mean, we did. We had the chapel where people can express, and that's where I kind of broke down, and I told the story of what went on in high school for the first time to a group of people. It was only like 10 people in there.
Okay.
My coach, my line DB coach, Coach Luke, and like 4 other players, whatever. The chapel person and his wife. That was the first time I ever did that, but
wow.
And it was like I broke down into tears, like really seeing people actually listen to my side of what happened, not, you know, what was going on. That was the first time, so doing that was something big. And then the person I really used to talk to was, because I did so much outside of football, I had so many different outlets. So I used to talk to Jennifer Saxton, shoutouts to Jen, about a lot of things. I would literally sit in her office for hours.
But you needed that. You needed those couple hours to kind of break down or just let her know what was going through your head, because you're a Division I athlete, especially at Ole Miss. That's a huge big time school.
Right.
So a lot of the pressure you may feel, the things you got going on and off, on top of still having to be a student and do all those schoolwork, that's got to be a lot.
A lot of people think you got an easy way as an athlete going to college.
It's quite the opposite.
But we actually do our work and play football, don't have the weekends off, and we go to practice after class. We don't get to go out and drink, do what a regular college student does.
Take a nap.
And still have to put our work in at the same time as a regular student. You know, we have the study hall, which is, you know, I think one of the best things that I took advantage of, because I was doing my work in study hall. Because I knew, like, all right, get out of practice, study hall, or morning study hall, do the homework that I had for that day. You know what I'm saying? So I think colleges are doing a beautiful job. I think early on, a lot of people thought of it as a joke.
Yeah.
Like, oh, mental health, da-da-da.
Because like you said, it was, just speak, like, take it.
Exactly.
Handle it. Exactly. You got to deal with it.
And then anytime somebody would come up with, if anybody had a problem, it was always mental health. And everybody was like, oh, that's just an excuse. It can be to some people, because some people take it as a joke. Some
people may use it, yeah.
But I think for most people, it's actually their true life. Because a lot of people are brought up into this stigma of, you have to be hard-nosed, you got to be the guy.
Hold it in. Nobody cares.
And then in the league, like, you have so much weight on your shoulders of the people back home, of everybody depending on you. Some players are paying for their parents' rent, sister's rent, cousin's rent, grandma's rent, all this rent.
Wow.
If they stop playing today, everybody's broke.
Yeah. Wow.
People don't really understand that. You know, all these fans and this and that, they tear you down. They build you up. Like, I saw this one thing on Instagram Reels. You know, I think it was Thomas Jefferson. He was doing multiplication problems on the board. Boom, got all these right. Nine times one.
Albert Einstein.
I know
what you're talking about.
9 times 1, 9 times 2, 9 times 3, 9 times 4. Got all those right. Got all the way down to 9 times 12 and wrote the wrong answer. And then the kid started.
And then he got ridiculed. ridiculed for that.
But they weren't happy for all the times
They didn't congratulate him for all the stuff he got right. But as soon as that one mistake or you're wrong one time, it's bash, bash, bash. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
I did all these.
They forget about that.
Right?
Yep, they forget about that.
It's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's not fair for athletes. And even professional athletes, college athletes, especially college athletes. I think now it's a little different with the NILs, but originally it's you're not getting any money, but you then got to do all that extra stuff. And then on top of that, you're going to get bashed on social media by fans who know nothing about the game. And then you sometimes have to hear about, you go on ESPN, they're bashing the team. And that's you're 18, 19, 20, 21 years old. That's a lot to handle. And, young NBA players got to deal with that. These guys are going into the league at 19, 20 years old.
Imagine going into the league and you can't even go out with your friends to go get a drink.
You can't go after the game. You can't go out with the boys.
The people you're around are going out to hang out. And you can't go.
You got to go back home and play the game and drink juice.
People don't even think about that. All these young players that are going into the league, okay, everybody in the league is 21, but I'm 19. I still can't get in the club because if they let me in the club and they take a picture, you obviously know that person is not 21. Mm-hmm. So then the club gets in trouble.
Everybody's going to look bad. So you really just got to bite the bullet till you turn 21.
Yeah, so it's crazy.
One thing that you said I want to just reverse to real quick is the study hall. I've recently, yesterday, was talking to a former player of mine who's playing college football right now, and I was like, so how's your grades doing? Right? Because I don't care about the football. I pay attention to the football during the season, but how are those grades doing? And he told me, he said, my grades, they're not
where they're supposed to be.
Exactly. So he's technically ineligible for spring ball this semester. And it's a freshman. So it's a learning experience. I'm trying to give him that wisdom. Be like, yo, there's study halls for a reason. You're these coaches that are, you showed up to a workout and they kicked you out because you didn't go to study hall. There's a reason for that. That shows that coach cares.
Right.
There's rules and stuff like that within the team and organization, and you need to abide by them. But the thing most that I think student athletes need to really they don't take it for granted that study hall is a place for you to truly get your work done.
Right.
When you get back to your room, you may want to play the game or take a nap or go to sleep.
Talk to your people at home.
Exactly. You may want to do all this other stuff. Use that study hall, that hour, that 2 hours of time to do work. Use that and take advantage of that because
instead of getting on your phone and wasting time.
Don't procrastinate. Procrastination is a killer.
It's the devil of us all.
It really is. It truly is. So college athletes, take advantage of those study hall sessions and don't think that they're for no reason.
I think study hall is probably one of the only reasons I got work done.
It's a great place.
I had too much fun outside of college to not take care of study hall.
You needed it.
I needed it. It was my time to really dive into school because you want to have your fun like everybody else.
Exactly.
But you don't have the same time as everybody else.
You just got to schedule out when I'm going to do the schoolwork.
And that study hall teaches you time awareness, being able to, all right, I go to meetings in the morning, practice, classes throughout the day. I know I got study hall in these 2 hours. I'm getting this stuff done.
Yep.
If I have leftover, if it's not due the next day, I'll get it done tomorrow. Or if I don't, I know I got to spend 30, 45 minutes at home.
Yeah.
But, it takes a while. I don't know why it takes everybody to fail at something comes back to the wisdom.
The wisdom. Everyone gives all this wisdom, but everybody wants to learn through experience.
It's crazy.
Sometimes you just gotta let them fly. Let them spread them wings and fly. Hey, yo, now I don't know what he's doing right now. But that was a good episode.
Yeah, man.
It was good.
We appreciate everybody tuning in. Again, it's Myles Hartsfield, a.k.a. Big 38, Go Hawk'em.
It's Coach Carey, a.k.a. MC4. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell a friend, and tell a friend.
Because we all friendly.
Let's all be friends.
And this is another episode of This Is Me.
Appreciate y'all.
Off season.
All men are created equal. Some just work harder during the off season.
Let's work.